This past weekend, I attended Big Apple Con, which is of course in the Big Apple in Manhattan. This was my first time at Big Apple Con, and I was pleasantly surprised with the experience. The line wasn't very long whether you purchased a ticket in advance or not, so the wait wasn't really bad, but it was 20 degrees outside, and I wore a pea coat, which was not really the best idea. And since New York Comic Con only happens once a year, it's nice to have these smaller cons pop up here and there to hold us over in the meantime. So Big Apple Con was on 3 different floors, and it had a lot of the same vendors that you would see at any other type of comic-based con. There were comic vendors, there were toy vendors, there was an artist alley, there were panels, and of course they had celebrity guests show up who were giving photo ops and autographs. And of course, like any other con, you have your cosplayers. You had your Spider-Gwens, Deadpools, and all those other bodysuit-looking cosplays. I had 2 favorite cosplays from Big Apple Con. One of them was Rey from The Force Awakens. She was walking around with a lightsaber, but she also had a life-size BB-8 on wheels that you can tell she spent a lot of time making it look like BB-8 was rolling around in the sand and was worn and withered. It's pretty awesome. The second one was really creative. It was a 2017 Power Rangers Green Ranger concept, which doesn't exist yet as far as we know. We don't know what it's going to look like. So this cosplayer looked at all the pictures and the videos and the continuity of what their suits look like in this new movie, and he created his own Green Ranger costume, which was pretty awesome. So I got to meet one of my favorite voice actors, and that's Johnny Brennan. Johnny started out recording himself making extremely funny prank phone calls, and that is what became the Jerky Boys. So when I was a kid, when the Jerky Boys originally came out, their CDs had the explicit language logo on the bottom of it, so I couldn't just walk into a store and buy one. Luckily, I had a few friends who had some older siblings who were able to buy them, and we would just listen to them anyway. I got to talk to him about a few of my favorite characters that he does from the Jerky Boys: Frank Rizzo, Rosine, Sal Rosenberg. And during the conversation, he did the voices for me. It was really funny. He also laughed and turned to somebody that he was with and said, "Doesn't he sound like our neighbor?" And coming from one of my favorite voice actors, I took that as a compliment. But who knows, he might hate his neighbor's voice, I don't know. He had all these pictures on his table to autograph, and I took way too long to pick out the one that I wanted, but I ended up picking up Mort from Family Guy because I happened to just like the picture that was on it. So the picture that I decided to go with was this one, and he signed it, "To Robbie, oh God." And I think that says JB Mort. So there was another person there that I kind of stopped in my tracks and just realized who I was standing in front of. Eldon Henson. Eldon Henson plays Fulton Reed in the Mighty Ducks. I love the Mighty Ducks movies. Anyone who's seen the Mighty Ducks movies, you know that Fulton Reed is one of the Batch brothers and he has the killer slap shot. And it was funny because when I was walking around his table, he completely realized that I stopped in my tracks and realized who he was. I stopped and I looked and I was silent, and he was looking at me dead in the face like, yeah, you know who I am. But I felt really bad because I was on my way to another table. So Big Apple Con was specifically special for me for one main reason. This was the first time that I was going to meet Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin, who then later became the White Ranger, who then later became the Red Zeo Ranger, who then later became the Red Turbo Ranger, and finally ended with the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. And this also meant that I have now finally met all of the Rangers from the original Mighty Morphin cast, minus Thuy, and of course, respect. So I went on Saturday and I signed up for the photo op with Jason David Frank, where they take a professional picture of you and you're in front of this middle school looking, yearbook backdrop. And I didn't really know what the experience was gonna be like. The line was maybe 50 people deep, and I was right in the middle. By the time he walked over and got ready for the photo op, I saw the line just start flying, and I realized, oh wow, I'm not really gonna have a chance to talk to him. So they pull a curtain open, you enter the area where you're gonna be taking the picture with Jason David Frank. He shakes your hand, and he was very nice. You get into a pose, and then that's it. Thank you, goodbye. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome just to do that, but I was a little disappointed because I didn't really get to say anything to him. So the next morning when I woke up, I bought a ticket for Sunday. And that was because on Sunday he was doing a free panel in the basement, so I really wanted to go to that. The panel was definitely an experience. I learned a lot from him. He is a very wonderful motivational speaker. He was talking about his career, not just how he got there, but the attitude and the point of view that you have to have for yourself towards your own life in order to get to where you want to be. And it was really inspiring to hear him talk about his journey. He talked about his family and the karate school that he runs and how martial arts has really humbled him as a person. I thought that was great. And you got to raise your hand and ask questions. I didn't really ask any because I knew that after the panel, I was going to head upstairs and go to his autograph line. Now, I didn't really want an autograph. I just wanted to take a picture with him on my phone because all of the other Rangers that I've met, I've taken a picture on my phone, so I kind of just wanted to complete that experience. But I also wanted to have another opportunity to talk to him just one-on-one, not in a panel setting. So after the panel was over, I headed upstairs, and I went over to his line where the autograph line was forming, and it was closed. The guards told me I'd have to come back in a half an hour, so they kept pushing everybody away. So I walked away, I went over to some other tables, and by the time I was supposed to come back, I came back and there were like 30 other people who had gotten there before me, so I was like, okay, whatever, it's gonna be worth it. I just want to talk to Jason, Dave, and Frank for like one moment. So even though I waited for maybe like an hour and a half on this line, I mean, when you're waiting on a line with other people around you who are waiting for the same thing, you start to meet the people around you, and I had some great conversations. The time flew by. So by the time I got up to the table, I thought I was gonna say so many things to him, and it really just turned into maybe a few different sentences. Because A, I know there's a lot of people behind me waiting online, and B, all the things that I really actually want to say about how much I love the show, how much the show influenced me, you don't have the time to really say those things. So I think I said something along the lines of, hey man, thanks for everything. And I'm sure he gets that a lot where people don't really know what to say. He was really nice. It was really great. He took the picture with me. I was really grateful. So Big Apple Con, I had a good time. I will definitely go again next year. I'm also going to go to Eternal Con, which is going to be on July 1st and 2nd. I don't know which day I'm going to go or if I go both days. But this year it's going to be at Nassau Coliseum instead of at the Cradle of Aviation Museum, which is right next door, which is where they normally have it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Geek Level Asian. And listen, guys, Power Rangers is coming out very soon. I don't know if you bought your tickets already, but I did. I can't wait to see the movie. I'm definitely going to do a video about it, so make sure to check back after the release date because I'm going opening night. But that being said, be good, and I'll see you next time.